On target number 2, representing Italy, Valerio Della Stua, Alberto Simonelli, Sergio Pagni. And their opponents joining us now on the field of play. The team that managed to beat Turkey in the quarterfinals by way of the shoot-off. On target number 1, representing the Russian Federation, Anton Bulaev, Alexander Dambayev, Dmitry Voronov, the line judge for this matchup is Paya Warnombri.
Athletes, please prepare.
Ladies and gentlemen, Team Italy will shoot first on target 2.
So, Italy, you shoot first, okay? Russia, you shoot second.
Well, here we go. It's time for the bronze medal match here in the men's team compound. And it's between Italy and Russia here in Antalya at stage 2 of the Hyundai Archery World Cup. I'm Karen Bashir, joined in the commentary box by, well, Dutch superstar of archery, Peter Elzinga. 2 interesting stories to tell, but let's pick up the first one here. Alberto Simonelli shooting first for Italy. So a good start there in 9, but Peter, an interesting story to tell here because, of course, the first Italian archer is in a wheelchair and has competed in the Paralympic Games, but is able to compete in the able-bodied sport here and good enough to be picked by Italy.
Yes, correct. You have to have a certain of certificate that you can actually shoot in a wheelchair, so that needs to be checked. But eventually you can shoot in these competitions as well.
Yeah, and good enough to join this team here. But another interesting story with Italy, as we see the third arrow, 3 9s by the looks of things, a 27 out of a possible 30, is where is Shanghai's silver medalist, Federico Pagnoni?
Yeah, I actually don't know. I didn't hear a single thing why he isn't here, but surprisingly, he got a silver medal in Shanghai and isn't here.
Well, a good start for the Russian team, ranked number 8 in the world. The Italians are ranked number 6.
Спокойно став, левый держим. Держим, терпи, терпи, держи мушку, терпи.
Good start from the Russians.
Yeah, perfect 20. Total score here in the team competition in each end is 60 points. And they'll shoot half their arrows first and then switch over to the other team. Just drifting off into the 8 and across to the right there, but they still lead by 1 after half of the first end. And we go back to Simonelli.
Sì, appena sopra la X. È centralissima,
Just caught a little bit of rain there started to come down, and the wind has picked up a little bit here in Antalya, still coming off the coast, but in fact I think it's switching across in terms of distance, sorry, in terms of direction.
Sì, Sergio, grande.
Not seeming to affect the Italians there. 29 out of a possible 30 in the second half of their arrows of this end.
Sono un pochino passi a destra.
10 справа также. То же место, то же самое место. 10 тоже. Антон, левый держим до конца. Ветер чуть слева идет. Учтите это. Держать, держать, держать. 9 близко к 10 на 8 часов. На 7.
Well, a 10 to get the lead here.
Время смотрим, считаем время.
Drifts off into the 8. The pressure on the third archer there, Alexander Dambev. And in fact, Italy squeeze out a 1-point lead here. Look, interestingly, Peter, I've noticed, and I'm sure you can feel it here, the wind's actually started to swirl up a little bit.
Yes.
It's starting to change direction. Here we get a spread of the arrows here.
Yeah,
Tell us how that wind's affecting this.
Yeah, you can actually see it right on the board. You can see all the arrows on the right side. You can see one arrow on the left side. He wanted to correct it, maybe corrected it too much a little, but it's all on the right side. So the wind is picking up really hard on the moment.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not just the fact that it's picking up, it's the fact that it is swirling around a bit. You can feel it going around in circles. And what that does to the archers, it means they can't really track things from one arrow to the next. So where communication was so important earlier on, now there's a little bit more feeling involved in this.
Yes, correct. You have to feel it yourself, the movement on your bow. You can see your own side picture, obviously, where your dot is on the target. But it's when it's swirling around like it is now, it's really hard to keep aim in the middle. Strong shots are required here.
Well, Russia trailing after the first end will shoot first.
Дима, пошел, все.
But just like that, you can see the conditions changing here. The sun has come out to shine right on our first archer.
Десять на 10, хорошо, отлично.
And a great 10.
Антон, левую держим. До конца терпи, держи ручку. 10, икса.
Very consistent. And in fact, just as they came out to shoot, not only did the sun come out, but the wind just dropped away.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, and that's actually really difficult on your peep side as well, because when there's light in your peep side, it will get another side picture as well.
Just see in the background there, the trees, I mean, up at that height they are blowing around. Down at the bottom here, it's slightly different conditions.
Yeah, it's difficult. The wind's picking up, then it's rain, shadows, and now the sun's coming out. It's really difficult conditions on these moments.
Well, it makes a challenging time there as the windsock down at the target end, 50 meters away from the shooting line. Well, the challenging conditions make for some spectacular archery. I had a question for you, Peter. The fact that the first archer from Italy is sitting in a wheelchair, he's going to be shooting significantly lower in these changeable conditions. How can the wheelchair athlete act as the sort of guiding the windsock, if you like?
No, I don't think it has a lot of advantage or disadvantage, because he's already sitting down. It won't affect that much.
There you go. Drifting out into the 9s for the first time there, Dmitry Voronov. After 3 10s for Russia in the first 3 arrows of the second end, crucial to get back into the 10s here.
Oh,
Big
that almost went wrong. Yep.
Big twitch.
Yeah, his what happens is he wanted to decide to shoot the arrow, and eventually on the moment when he wanted it didn't fire, so he came loose on his string, and luckily he still had it and could shoot a 9 with it.
Well, good recovery there, and Italy need a perfect set of arrows here. 10s all round required to draw level in this end. Well, they're definitely going to trail by at least 1 in this end. So a chance for the Russians to draw level. Another 9 dropped here, so really crucial arrow here. And another 9. So Russia, well, they've come from behind to take the lead here in this bronze medal match. And, well, Peter, the wind playing a big part in that one.
Yes, correct. Yeah, yeah, you could see it right away in the beginning. It did a lot of work on the wind with drifting on the arrows, and now eventually it's lying down. The wind is calm on the moment.
Well, a big twitch here on the 5th arrow from Russia didn't actually play that big a part in it, and in fact they were able to recover from that. Look here.
Yeah.
Well, the Russian team stoic. It's interesting how the teams react here as we're just waiting for the agents to go and retrieve the arrows. You saw that some of the athletes are smiling and cheery and happy, and some of them showing no emotion. Now, surely
correct.
That's just a facade.
Yes, yes, yeah. It's trying to control your emotions on that moment and to see where your attention is on that moment.
Well, Russia trailed off the first end by 1 point, but had a big turnaround in the second end, lead by 2 at the halfway stage of the bronze medal match here in Antalya. Italy to shoot first in end 3. Good start again from Simonelli. Now at this level, the consistency is so high, they're shooting 9s and 10s pretty much all of the time.
Yes.
That little bit of luck that Russia got there in the second end, to have the perfect conditions in both of their sets of 3 arrows in that second end, it means that luck starts to play a part in this sport, doesn't it?
Yeah, sometimes. I don't think it's shooting is not about luck, I think. Sometimes maybe you got lucky on a shot, but a lot of times yeah, shooting is just shooting arrows and try to shoot as good as you can. Luck in this sport, maybe sometimes.
Interesting point of view from a world record holder himself, Peter Elzinger. So 29 out of a possible 30 for Italy. Russia to shoot first, and they're in the driving seat here. Another 10, and he seems to be getting better and better. He dropped a 9 in the second end. But Voronov being the model of consistency here in the Russian team. Oh, well,
wow.
That's even better.
Yep.
Buliev there saying, I could go 1 better. I mean, that's tickling the spider, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, correct. Yep. That's actually really dead center.
Oh, there was a possible maximum on the cards there for Russia, and they've gone and got it. at the halfway stage of the third end here. Italy are chasing this one.
Sì.
Good shooting.
Sì, c'è di riga.
Very good.
Ore 4. Tagli il tempo a Sergio, Valerio.
Well, just dropping a 9 there on the last arrow. So, well, they could drop 2 points here, Russia. 2 9s or an 8 plus 10s would be enough to draw a level here in the third end and maintain the lead.
10 на 2. Классно, молодец. 10 на 2.
Gets another 10, and in fact, both of the leading archers for Italy and Russia have only dropped a single point in this whole match.
Антоша, левую держать до конца, терпи. До конца работаем, терпи, терпи. 9 на 11.
Just going up and to the right there a little bit.
That's a little bit high. Yep.
Да, присела. Держи, держись.
And again, drifting off to the right. But they did score a 58 to draw a level and maintain their 2-point lead. And it's really interesting to have a look at the groupings of the athletes and where the arrows are going.
The first 3 arrows.
And here we get a comparison. I mean, the Russians in yellow, the Italians in red. Peter.
Yeah, you can actually. Well, it's difficult. You can see here that it's all pretty much centered, but a couple of arrows are missing out. The high and low is actually, well, more or less the fault of the archer. Left and right could be a wind drift.
Yeah, and to be fair, the groupings are fairly similar in terms of furthest arrows away from each other. But crucially, the Russians were able to draw level with Italy in that third end. One more end to go here with a bronze medal at stake here in Antalya at stage 2 of the Hyundai World Cup compound men's team event. And you've got to say, Simonelli, who will shoot first here, has been
range clear
as good as Voronov, the leading archer from Russia.
Yeah, he's shooting actually really good.
Pressure on though. Simonelli to shoot first. Well, for the first time we see him pulling across to the right and a bit low there. It's marked as an 8. I wonder if they go for the measure on that. It's very close to the line.
I think that's on. I think that's a 9 for sure.
Sì, Valerio, X piena.
A 10 to settle the nerves of the Italians down a little bit.
Sì, Sergio,
very consistent on those second 2 arrows. So they need Voronov to stay as the the master of consistency here and get another 10.
Io no, tocca la riga del no. Tocca.
9 на 12. Ничего. Давай, Тоша, до конца работаем все. До конца левую держим, Антон. Держим, терпим. 9 там же, 12, рядышком.
they're clearly communicating with each other because the groupings there very, very consistent.
Yeah, correct. But it's so close. It's so close to the 10 ring. You can almost not communicate about that.
Yeah.
I think this will tie things up because I actually do think that 8 is a 9.
Yeah, well, they've just put the asterisk down on that first arrow for Italy. I tend to agree with you, but we'll definitely have to go to a measure as Simonelli shoots his second arrow. Well, overcorrection perhaps?
Yeah, that could be, yeah.
First one goes right, second one goes left, both pretty similar level.
Yeah, you can see him adjusting his sight right away.
Sì, bravo, bravo Valerio, vai. Tempo, eh.
Oh, another 9, and is that going to be enough? A perfect score from Russia here will give them the bronze medal. Anything less, well, they could be in a shoot-off. Well, they can only level with Italy now, but only if they score a perfect score in the last 2 arrows. And all of a sudden, going from a strong position, Russia have got all the pressure on them.
Yeah, correct.
There's a 10. They go level, of course, in the match score here, but a 10 is required to win. Oh, what a brilliant arrow at the end, and they do in fact win by 2 despite leveling the score in that end. But all of that pressure was on the Russian team at the end there. They really had to pull it out of the bag, and a perfect 10 was what was required, and a perfect 10 is what they got. Russia defeat Italy in the final 2 in the gold bronze medal match, 227 to 225.
Yeah, it's beautiful for Alexander Dambayev that, well, he started with 2 8s on the right side, and, well, he needs to put his last arrow in a 10 to actually win the match, and he did.
But the pressure was really on them at the end there.
Yeah,
and it's interesting how Italy sort of maintained their consistency as we have confirmation that the Russians finally showing a little bit of joy and emotion here in Antalya claim the bronze medal. Of course, they will go and check the arrows here at the end. Now, they had to score a 10 to win because that first arrow from Italy is marked as an 8 at the moment. It can go up to a 9, of course, which we think it will do,
yeah,
which means they win by 1.
Yeah.
Well, they have indeed marked it up. As we look at the rain there, it's just starting to affect the archers a little bit, but, well, for me, I know you disagree, Peter, they had a little bit of a rub of the green in the second end, getting all of the weather conditions favourable, whilst the Italians suffered with a little bit more blustery wind, but we can see the beautiful consistency.
Yeah, correct, yeah.